Hey there everybody, and this is time for another channel update. I do these like once or twice a year. I generally don't do face cam very much. That might change in the future, we'll see. Alright, so I have a little notebook here because I was rambling for ages when I did these before. I'm starting to already do that, but I did a bunch of live stream adjustments, and that was so I could have free time and time to record and time to work on things and time to spend with my wife. It's kind of important to be able to do that. Essentially, before this, I worked 7 days a week, 15 hours, about 15 hours a day, almost constant work. And now I have time to sit down and watch movies with my wife. And just spend time with my wife and like catch up on anime and things like that. Essentially, I worked constantly, and that just wasn't okay. Now I work a much more reasonable set of time. I get some days off once in a while. I get to relax, and that's good. It was incredibly rare for me to get a day off before, but now I get like a day off like every week or every other week, depending on how much work I inflict upon myself. That's most of that's on me. I could lighten up duties on my channel or my streams or anything like that, but I don't really want to do that. I want to keep everything consistent and everything putting out everything I can up and out there. Now, my personal well-being is doing great. I am no longer tired. That is a note in here. I don't know why I put that after personal well-being. The other day I got my COVID booster shot, and I am fantastic. I had a headache, and I woke up in a puddle of sweat, which is exactly why it's laundry day. You guys can tell that back there. I woke up in a puddle of sweat. It's kind of gross. It was like a body outline, but for a crime scene, but out of sweat. It's worth it to not get the disease. Now, my plans for next year and the year after are kind of weird. I don't have anything for the year after for once. Don't know what I'm doing there for my channel anyways. So my plans for 2022 are a Pokemon ROM hack with my wife. We are doing Pokemon Fusion Origins. We actually started recording November 26th. And we're doing this ahead of time, so that way we're very busy. That wasn't obvious based on my work schedule. We are very busy people. And the fact that we have time to do things with each other is wonderful, and we're not going to prioritize that over recording the Pokemon ROM hack. So we don't know when that'll be done next year. We know it's starting early next year because we started already recording it. And yeah. By the way, since we like spending time with each other, feel free to tell us in the comments below if we've missed something, or if there's a thing that's super cool or anything like that, or if something was particularly funny, because you might think you're late to the party because of that time, but you're really not. Trust me, you're really not. We are only like 10 episodes in, and this is being recorded on the 9th of December. 2 weeks in, 2 weeks later. Almost 3 weeks. Is that math right? I don't know. And we've only got 10 episodes. Yeah, I think you guys understand. Now, as for Oblivion, I kind of put it on a small hiatus. I am still doing the Shivering Isles as of early next year, but I got a little burnt out on Oblivion. I had to stop. Then I went back and did Knights of the Nine, and then early next year, I am doing the Shivering Isles. And if I have everything spaced out correctly and start recording soon, I should be able to get almost all of that edited and ready for you guys. And it'll only be around, I think, 80-ish parts. This is still the longest playthrough I'm ever going to do on my channel. If I do Skyrim, it's going to be much more basic than Oblivion. And even then, I've still got a lot more things to do afterwards, but there is something else I want to talk about. That might seem a little bit weird or dumb to you, but this is one of the last gifts I received before I felt uncomfortable getting gifts. For reference of my discomfort with getting gifts, even my wife got me a gift once, Sarah, and then I asked her to never do it again. Yeah, I don't deal well with gifts. There's a long story to that. I might make another video on it if people are interested on it. But, it's not me being rude, it's really long story. It just connects in my brain as getting gift is a bad thing. But these dog tags right here, this dog tag, was a gift from Deads, who is another member of FlyAnvil. He's a moderator on my Discord server. He's a moderator on everything I do. I have known him for almost 10 years. This thing is also almost 10 years old. It is absolutely amazing to me. It's still stuck around. Still smells like copper and lead. I'm gonna have to wash my hands after this. It's a lot more sentimental to me than I thought. For the rest of the video, I'm going to be wearing it. I'm probably going to be wearing it off and on while I play through the Shivering Isles. But until I started doing Oblivion, I almost forgot about this. And then I found it. Then I started Oblivion, and I was like, wait, do I still have this? And yes, I do. And I've kept it with me for 10 years. It means a lot more to me than I thought it did. I'm probably going to be keeping it for the rest of my life. I don't know where it's going after I'm dead, though. Alright. And after that, I do want to update you guys on The Suffering Prison is Hell and The Suffering Ties That Bind. So The Suffering Prison is Hell was supposed to have one big bonus episode that I've already written up a script for, actually, of all of the extra additional things, including some, like, ripped assets that that a friend of mine ripped, Miles, who's also a member of the Decision Red Days team. I recruited specifically people that I knew were very talented anyways. He ripped a bunch of files from The Suffering for me, and when in there we found no cut content whatsoever from the game. That's impressive, isn't it? They knew what they wanted, they came and they did it. But on subject... Something gross on my computer. Alright, I'll clean that off after. On the subject of The Suffering Prison is Hell, which is the European naming scheme that I like to use because it's better than just The Suffering. Originally there was going to be a big bonus episode, and that has been completely sidelined. That's not happening anymore. Instead, there's going to be a bunch of shorter YouTube videos that are much more easily consumable than a really long bonus episode, and then they're all going to be edited together in one long bonus episode. Some of these are going to have voiceovers, some of them are going to have text on screen. You guys can actually tell me whichever you prefer in the comments below. Or, I guess if you watch this, you can message me on Discord, I don't care. I'm a very public figure. You can find me almost anywhere based on... I've got everything linked on my Discord. It's very nice. Yeah, that's about it on that. And The Suffering Ties That Bind is coming in summer. Ties That Bind is going to be much easier to handle than Oblivion, but there's still a ton in it. I still have 2 endings to get, and I still have a bunch of content that's extra to record. And there's different things that play out based on your morality choices, and I still have to get the guide and research that. It's such an interesting, different game. I'm probably going to do 2 playthroughs on my channel. 1 good, 1 evil. And then the neutral playthrough, I'm just going to show karmatic choices, I guess. I don't know, I might do neutral too, but the game won't take long to beat. It's only around a 4 or 5 hour game. So if I did 3 different playthroughs, it wouldn't be that hard. That out of the way, the final game I'll be playing through next year is Harvest Moon on the SNES, and it'll probably be coming out in fall or winter, depending on how well everything else plays out that year. Harvest Moon SNES is a fantastic game. I love it. It's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorite SNES games ever made. Speaking, it's not the best Harvest Moon game, I don't think, but that's my opinion. I got started on Grand Bazaar. At least that's the first one I remember directly owning like a physical copy of. I know other people got started elsewhere. Forgive me for my sins. But it's a really good game, it's a really fun game, and it's a game that I've liked for years and years and years, and I even started writing a guide for it back when I was a young kid and then into my teenage years. And now I get to use a good portion of that guide. Some of it's just nonsensical. I don't know where I got some of the information for it other than playing the game itself, but even then that information's weird and kind of wrong. But that's what happens when you wrote something like... started writing something like 15, 16 years ago. Yeah, I was like 9 when I started that. Whew, that's a wild ride. But technically, I don't know if this is a record or not. Might be a small time record. It's not literally a record, though. It's not even something worth keeping track of. But this is the longest planned Let's Play I think I've ever heard anyone talk about. I have been planning it from anywhere from 13 to 15 years. 13 to 16 years, actually, because I'm 25. And that's huge. I got to Pikmin before I got to Harvest Moon SNES, and Pikmin is one of my all-time favorite games. It's like within my top 3. That's something else. And now that I can finally use all the information and everything I've gathered, it's got to be much easier. And finally, my future plans with FlyAnvil. I've already got the next game for FlyAnvil, at least somewhat to mostly planned out. Depends on how that's going to go. And then I've already got another game that I'm planning out that's really just in planning phases. The other one I'm already writing a little bit for. It's great to work with them. They are fantastic people. They are not responsible for my overburdening workload. That's just myself. I do that to myself. I'm a workaholic. It's probably going to happen again in the future. Then I'm going to loop back around to a more relaxed schedule. People are going to leave my channel because I've got a more relaxed schedule. Yeah, that's how it happens every time. I stop working constantly, and then less people watch. It's sad, but I'd rather not kill myself over a YouTube channel. My future plans with FlyAnvil include making games. That's about it. I am very much a planning person, and I will prepare for everything ahead of time. Every single thing. And, that's kind of important for planning things out, I guess. I think that's about it. I hope that was engaging. So, after that, I did want to discuss, like I mentioned at the start of this video, no plans for my channel for 2023. That doesn't mean I'm not doing things. Like I said, I'm going to keep doing this for as long as I can. But, yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing after that. It's kind of rare for me. It's a really weird thing to think about, but I have no plans for 2023. I've usually always had some plans ahead of time, what I'm going to do after. I could do Skyrim. I could do Spectrobes. I want to do Spectrobes. I want to do Spectrobes like Chugga Conroy does Pokemon. But that is not something doable right now. Yeah, I could not possibly do that. Because I just don't have the skill for it, for one thing. But Skyrim's so massive and big, and Oblivion's giving me so much trouble. I don't want to do Skyrim right away. There's another thing I did want to discuss, actually. There's a lot of space in between the ROM hack Shivering between my 3 main Let's Plays next year. Shivering Isles, Tides That Bind, and Harvest Moon SNES. There's a lot of space in between them. And that's just so I can take fan requests and play games that I personally wanted to play, like, I mentioned in the Discord post that was essentially this channel update, that, I really want to play through DeBlob and DeBlob 2, and that's still true. That game came out when I was a kid, I think, but when I look up release dates for it, it says 2017, and I don't know why. It's on Wii. That's interesting. That's about it. I did actually want to dote on Hollow Knight a bit more. People might be clicking off the video now like, oh, Hollow Knight, I've played that, but like, hear me out. I'm never gonna play a game like that again. And that's a positive note. I will seek out games like that, but no game will ever again affect me like Hollow Knight did. Probably anyways. Before I played Hollow Knight, I had this weird little disillusionment from the industry in which I just felt disconnected and I didn't feel like a lot of games mattered very much or a lot of choices mattered very much, and for a lot of games, now that's true. They're very surface level. Even Cyberpunk 2077 is the same way, where in which you can just kill someone's grandmother in front of their whole family and they'll just ignore it, or you get in a car and the cops stop chasing you. I don't know. I don't like Cyberpunk 2077. That game is an absolute mess. I talk crap about it all the time. Even Dark Souls, I absolutely love Dark Souls. Doesn't really have the same feeling as it used to for me. Sekiro was great. I'm very bad at it because it's partially rhythm-based because of the strikes and everything, and I cannot do rhythm for the life of me, but that's beside the point. Elden Ring is something I'm looking forward to, but now I'm digressing into other things. I think the last game I played that made me feel at least somewhat like Hollow Knight did was Undertale. And I know Deltarune's out, and I've had requests to play Deltarune. So, just putting that out there, I am definitely doing Deltarune in the future. Because Undertale was fantastic, and I don't know what's going on with Deltarune. Yeah, just I'll be taking fan requests and doing things like that, and hopefully one day I'll play another game that makes me feel like Hollow Knight did, because I have no idea why that game made me feel as strongly as it did. I came into it expecting to hate it, and I left with a new want in life. That to be continued thing at the very end for me was just like, no, give me more now. I don't know, that I don't usually have that all the time. Like, there are games where I want more of it because the gameplay mechanics are great, but Hollow Knight, I want more of it because everything is great. Like, every single thing about Hollow Knight is fantastic. It's amazing in every single regard. I absolutely love it. It's a game that I could not possibly recommend more to every human being out there that could possibly play it. It's just such an amazing, beautiful game. And that summarizes my channel update. That's my channel update. Thank you guys for watching, and if you've stuck around to the end of the video, just like let me know in the description below. Say something. I don't want to rip off another YouTuber, but my brain keeps going Chewbacca. Never forget Chewbacca. If you know what I'm referencing, you know. I don't know, say Pacergram fitness test in the comments below. The Pacergram fitness test. That's a meme too, right? That's a meme. But, yeah. Thank you guys. I don't want to rip anyone off. Similarities are just because they're similar. I'm sorry. Thank you guys, and I will see you next time for another channel update that will probably occur at the end of next year. Actually, wait, there is one more thing. It's not very important, though, so you guys can just click off the video if you don't want to. Oblivion's been going on my channel for such a long time that you can watch from the beginning of it to the most recent episodes and see how drastically the quality has increased. That's it. Thank you, guys. Bye.